Do you have 15 minutes? That's exactly the amount of time you need to watch this video. This is Rapid Fire Record Recommendations, and I'm your host, Lance Barisi from Permanent Records. And let's just get right into it this time. I'm here with a big pile of records from our used recent arrivals right behind me there. There are 500 to 700 used recent arrivals going out every single week. No bargain bin stuff. That's for the dollar sale that we're having out on our patio right now. There's going to be a year-long, or I should say summer-long dollar record sale going on our patio with 30 fresh boxes of dollar records going out every Saturday at noon. So come on down for that if you live here locally. If not, just enjoy this video and shoot me a comment below. Let me know what you think. All right, let's get right into it. We got Noi 2. This is a classic krautrock record on the Bang. I got Bang on the Brain from that reissue we talked about last week. Noi 2, there's second, obviously, studio album. This is an absolute krautrock classic on that Green Brain label. Hey, by the way, anybody out there looking to start a neo krautrock band, go ahead and take the name Green Brain. I think that's an excellent name for a neo krautrock band. I don't have time to start that band, so you can have the name. It's on me. Anyway, yeah, absolutely classic, motoric beats, soaring guitars. This is essential listening for anyone. If you're into krautrock, you already know this record. It is a staple, a absolute cornerstone of the genre. Michael Rother, Klaus Dinger, Noi, former founding members of Kraftwerk, went off to do their own thing, and damn, did they do it well. No one else at this time sounds quite like Noi. This is a very special record. All three of their first 3 records are absolutely amazing. I highly recommend them to everyone with an open mind. All right, I've probably said enough about Noi at this point, so we can just move right along, even though I feel like I could talk about Noi and all of the Noi related projects in an entire video. Maybe we'll do that in the future sometime. This is a classic Impulse title. This is Crystals by Sam Rivers. Look at that album cover. If that doesn't sell you, nothing will. Sam Rivers was primarily, I think, a tenor saxophonist, but he was a multi-instrumentalist. He played the flute, he played the bass clarinet, a bunch of other instruments. He was a writer, composer, and just the track titles alone on this should sell you if this album cover does not. Sam Rivers on Impulse should be enough for you. Look at those extensive liner notes. I love the way Impulse put their records together. I'll put Impulse against Blue Note almost any day. Go ahead and hit me in the comments below if you don't agree. Exaltation, Tranquility, Postlude, Orb, and Earth Song are the titles on this LP. This is killer spiritual jazz stuff right here. Check out Crystals by Sam Rivers. All right, Axelrod produced a couple of, at least a couple of Electric Prunes records. You may know Electric Prunes from I Had Too Much to Dream Last Night. That's a classic nugget, garage era psych. And anyway, this is really, really groovy because it's got David Axelrod production. It's really, really lush, really, really rhythmic, really just, yeah, hypnotic stuff. This is absolutely amazing. Release of an Oath by the Electric Prunes, who were, I think, just basically a studio band, but Axelrod produces this album, and I'll go ahead and say this is the best Electric Prunes record. This is, in my opinion, not the best Ultimate Spinach album. I think the first one is their best, but I think all the Ultimate Spinach records are quite good. If you're into late 60s psych, I highly recommend Behold and See by Ultimate Spinach. This is just classic late 60s psychedelic rock right here. If you don't already know Ultimate Spinach, get on board immediately. Here's another psych classic. This thing's laden with synthesizers, female vocals, which you don't get on a lot of late 60s psychedelic rock records. This is not an OG, unfortunately. This is a unofficial pressing with not a lot of information on it. It looks like a straight repro, but it's a fraction of the cost of an OG and well worth it. If you're not familiar with 50-Foot Hose, you have to check this album out. It's absolutely incredible. A total trip. a journey for the mind. Omega is a is maybe still, they had a long illustrious career, Hungarian band. Their first album, no, second, 10,000 Lepes, I think is my favorite. I think that's from 1968. This is a later one. This is from like the mid 70s, maybe 76. And it's still good. Omega rode a lot of trends throughout their career. They started as like kind of a more garagey beat group, got into like the very psychedelic zone with 10,000 Lepes that I think like Kanye sampled or something, which kind of irked me a little bit. But anyway, Omega is one of the most legendary Hungarian bands. Everyone from Hungary knows who Omega is. Most Europeans do too, but hardly anybody in the US is talking about Omega, and they should be. So that's why I'm here. Speaking of Europe, the Equals were massive in Europe. We only ever find these records in quantity when we go on our European record buying trips, and that's a damn shame because Eddie Grant got his start here, but the Equals were very different from Electric Avenue or anything else Eddie Grant did for the rest of his career. This is really groovy, fun stuff. They also get kind of heavy. The Skies Above is kind of a heavy stomper. If you like that kind of hooligan glam, this will be for you. It's got a little bit of freak beat, got a little bit of glam, got a little mod, kind of all blended together, and this is just a greatest hits compilation. But damn, Equals wrote nothing but hits. Just unbelievably talented group. Multiracial, super cool. This is a white label promo of Steeplechase's Lady Bright. Very cool. This album is pretty solid, but I own this specifically for the song Wrought Iron Man. That is a heavy banger, and it does not exist on 45. Unfortunately, for 45 guys like me, you got to have this whole LP, which is good, but not as good as Wrought Iron Man. If they had a whole album's worth of material that was as good as Wrought Iron Man and as heavy, they would be held up high in the canon of early 70s heavy rock. This is such a cool record for sure. Changing gears a little bit, we got some Skynyrd. Everybody always talks about Pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd, the first album, and you know, Street Survivors and Second Helping. I really like Gimme Back My Bullets. This is where Skynyrd to me sounds the most like the Rolling Stones of the South, and that they kind of were. Skynyrd was massively huge in their day, wrote a lot of great material. Forget about what you think about Southern rock. Give this album a listen. This record absolutely slays, and I love that it doesn't have a whole lot of big hits on it, but the tracks on here are all bangers. Such a great album all the way through. Give Me Back My Bullets. And then we got, I've talked about this record probably numerous times, but we got another copy. I pick it up every time I get a chance. This is Thomas Jefferson Kay's self-titled album. This record absolutely rules. No one talks about Thomas Jefferson Kay. He had a really great career. He was involved in a lot of other stuff I don't have time to get into his Wikipedia right now, but this record is absolutely incredible. If you like country funk or cosmic American music, you need to hear Thomas Jefferson Kay's self-titled LP. It absolutely rules. Here's one you already probably know and love. I absolutely love this album. I think the Cars are one of the best new wave groups, and we have two copies of the Cars self-titled debut here. We got a Nautilus Super Disc, a audiophile pressing of that title, and an OG US pressing of it. Both sound great. If you're an audiophile, maybe go with that Super Disc. But yeah, wow. Beyond the hits, the Cars absolutely rule. I just love them to death. I can put that record on any time of the day. Always instant mood enhancer. Jah Wobble is a bass was I don't know if Jah Wobble's still alive or not. Let's just say is a bass player. He played in Public Image Limited. He collaborated with Holger Zuke from Can. He did a bunch of great solo material. This is really groovy, vibey, experimental post-punk, but it's very accessible. This is Jah Wobble's bedroom album. I don't know much about the history of this record, but it obviously was recorded at home in his bedroom, and it's got a really great production value, all things considered. And literally anything with the name Jaw Wobble on it, I'm gonna pick that up. I've never heard a bad Jaw Wobble record. This is a more contemporary group. This record probably came out 5-10 years ago, something like that. Nolan Potter's Nightmare Band. This came out on Castle Face Records, the label owned by John Dwyer, the OCs and Damaged Bug, and like a million other groups, Pink and Brown, the Coach Whips, etc. He's a legend. Everybody knows that. Nolan Potter's Nightmare Band, I think they were from Texas. Nolan Potter might live in Southern California now. We see him around the Roadhouse. He's performed here. He's a brilliant multi-instrumentalist, and his albums are really, really cool. If you like dreamy, kind of lush, contemporary psych, I highly recommend those records. Are super cool. And then here's a I don't get down with the term guilty pleasure. If you like something, just have pleasure in it. You don't have to feel guilty about it. Deftones Adrenaline. I listened to the out of this record when I was in 8th grade, and I don't think I really understood it, but there was like a really cool guy that I kind of admired that always wore Deftones t-shirts, and he was also wearing, like, I learned about Clutch because of the shirt he was wearing, and so on and so forth. Anyway, I went out and got Adrenaline by Deftones at the time, and I rocked this thing into the ground. I still don't know that I completely understand what's going on with Chino's voice on this thing. This is a really unique record that I think could only have been made in the mid to late 90s. When did this come out? I don't know. I probably didn't get it brand new, so let's say, I don't have my glasses on. Let's say 96, that sounds about right. Anyway, this record's cool. Not for everybody, but I'm pretty nostalgic for this one, so I figured I'd talk about it briefly in this video. We're running out of time as usual. These rapid fire record recommendations videos, I try to get them under 15 minutes so that you can watch, grab a recommendation, and then get out and get back onto whatever else you might be doing with your day. Also, in the recent arrivals right now, our recent arrivals is absolutely incredible at the moment, and it's going to be for the foreseeable future. We've been buying tons of amazing records. If you don't already, please follow us on Instagram. We are at permanentrecordsla. There's a link to our Instagram in the description of this video. Before a lot of these records hit the bins, we feature them for sale on Instagram. You can see everything coming down the pipe just by watching what we're posting for sale on Instagram on a daily basis. Every night, we got 2 accounts posting records steadily every night. Permanent Records Shop and Permanent Records LA. Come follow us over there. You can even just lurk if you want to, just check it out, because a lot of the records that we're posting on there, I would recommend as well. All right, and then in getting back to what I was saying, the recent arrivals are popping right now. It's just boom, unbelievable stuff that you just don't get very often. And there are a ton of really, really cool soundtracks in there at the moment, just a massive amount of them. If you haven't seen the Stax docu-series, I forget where it's streaming, go watch that. There's a bunch of info on the Watt Stax Festival. That's the soundtrack for that. Mask, this was a big one for me. I saw this so many times when I was a kid. Saw Pretty in Pink a million times. The soundtracks for these movies, some of them are just burned into my psyche. How many times have I seen Breakfast Club? Seriously, countless. Cool Alfred Hitchcock, Music to Be Murdered By, Still Sealed soundtrack. Gotta love that. That's super fun. Then we got Splash. If you've never seen Splash with Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks, go check it out. It's a weird mermaid comedy, kind of hard to describe. Could only be made in the 80s. The Addams Family. And then in addition to all of those soundtracks and everything else, we have a ton of quadraphonic records. That's Bitches Brew by Miles Davis, Court and Spark, Deodato. We got Morton Subotnick ×2 on quad. If you have 4 speakers running off your stereo, you need to run. Don't walk down to Permanent Records for the selection of quadraphonic records we have in stock right now. They are all minty fresh too, super, super clean, almost perfect condition on every single one of them. Many of them, this is just a small sampling, and there's a ton of quad records in our $1 sale bin. And we also have a bunch of audiophile records, to include one of my all-time favorites. A bunch of my all-time favorites, let's be real. That's it, 15 minutes. We out. Thanks, y'all.